What to do, my streaming crew? It is me, the one, the only, Art of Pilo, J to the P to the L, Mr. L for my students. I'm here today on a Thursday. It is me, the one, the only. It is Thursday, August 2nd, and today's episode 10 of Random Doodles and How-Tos, except today's probably not going to be as random as usual. There'll still be a how-to, but I have a couple. One piece for sure I have to knock out and finish and get going. The other one is a fun little piece that I started yesterday. So if you follow me on Instagram, .com/Art of Pilo, you'll see that yesterday I did a sketch involving comedian Angela Johnson and comedian Mel Hall that I started, and this little fun thing that I was doing after going to their show Tuesday night. But I also have a piece for an art show that I have to finish, and it started and it's getting there, and I've made adjustments and I continue to make adjustments, but I gotta start pushing it a little bit harder. So welcome, bienvenidos, if you're just joining us. Hi, how you doing? I have the chats open both on YouTube and Twitch, so if you guys want to chop it up with me, add a comment. If you're on Mob Crush, because that's how we're streaming today. We're using the Mob Crush app on an iPad Pro, and I'm about to start working in Procreate. You can chat with me there too. The Mob Crush stuff shows up on my iPad. The Twitch and YouTube stuff, that is separate. So welcome, bienvenidos. Let's do this. So like I said, I have an art show that I have to work on, a piece for an art show that I have to work on. It's a whole Tim Burton, Lakia Studios tribute gallery that I am scheduled to have a piece hanging in at the end of September. So I actually got to finish it because I have to drop off the piece towards the middle end of this month. So yeah, so it's not too random, but still got a little how-to in there. So again, welcome. So let me go into my Burton Fan Alley stuff. And I came out with a whole bunch of different concepts, as you guys can see on my screen. Multiple different concepts, stuff that I want to do. I probably have maybe 2, maybe 3 that I want to pursue. One for sure I'm going to finish. And then I have a couple others. So this is the one that I'm working on right now. Inspired by an old X-Men comic book cover. I thought I'd have fun with all the elements that are found within the Beetlejuice movie and some of the characters and stuff like that. So here are my pencils. If I go into my layers right here on the top right, you'll notice that I have multiple layers. I have my inks for Beetlejuice that I started inking. And I was like, you know what? I got to adjust the suit. Because originally this is what it looked like. And then I came back in, tweaked it out a little bit, made some modifications. I did a little suit reference, so I had better wrinkles in it, and adjusted the pose a slight bit. But, you know, I came back, I added in the sandworms because I thought that'd be a great element to add into the piece because they're kind of in a sandy type environment. And if any of you guys ever watch Beetlejuice, that ain't his zone. He ain't digging the sandworms, but hey, let's have fun with it. So, again, welcome. If you're joining me now, thank you. I appreciate it. You being here, my value to you is showing you some drawing techniques and tips and stuff like that. So, if you can hear the music in the background, Spotify playlist, NCS, it's the same playlist I've been using the last few streams. So I don't get flagged for music because this stuff is 100% copyright free. At least that's what they say on their YouTube channel and their Spotify channel. It's the gaming playlist. At the end of this, I'll post it on the description for both YouTube and Twitch, because I actually have to update that too, because this is episode 10. So I got everything kind of adjusted, going there. I think I'm gonna come into this now and start focusing on inking Beetlejuice. I definitely had to refix the hands, not officially digging the hands. They look broken up, you know, this is like undead and whatever, but I'll probably adjust the hands. And since I'm all the way live, you'll hear my dog barking. You'll hear my kids walking in through the front door because they're outside playing with their friends. But again, the chats are open. If you guys want to say something, make a comment, please knock yourselves out. Let me know what's cracking, where you from, if you're enjoying the stream, what's the haps. So on this pink layer, let me just get that pink pencil back. And let's work on the hands, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my script, rotate B out. I'm going to assume the hands are going that way a little bit. Just a little bit. We gotta shape them out with excitement. But right now, I am not using a pencil. I'm using a pen. So let's switch it to a pencil. So it's not so harsh. And those are right here. This area right here, my brushes and stuff. All the goodies. And then some. So blah, blah, blah. Shape it out. Because like if you guys have noticed from all my previous broadcasts, I usually like to draw from the inside out. So I like to shape out the pieces that we're going to be using. And then we go from there. I look at my own hand when I put it out, so I have a little reference of to how this is going to look if I was stretching out my hand like, yeah. Or I'll look up photo reference, but in this case my hand is free because I'm right-handed and this is the left hand, so I'll just be like, yeah. And do that fun stuff. And I'll loosely just draw everything in where it's supposed to go. A little excitement. His hands are wide open, so there's a stretch to them. There's a little bit of energy going into this stuff. Do it yourself. Try it. Open up your hands, stretch it out like, yeah! Like you're about to take the hardest high five in the world, and you see how much energy and power is in that. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, pretty crazy, right? There's all this energy in here. If I wanted to break it down, I'd be like, well, blah, 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 blah. A little bit here. I could try to match them up this way, but it's not always for like perfect. I can break them off into shapes, be like part of the finger, part of the finger, part of the finger. I've even seen it done as peanuts intertwining. So there's multiple different ways of doing this. I'm gonna get my selection tool and wipe that out because I don't need it. Click on that layer number 4 and I'm gonna clear it. But yeah, so get that power going there because his hands giving off energy like, yeah, welcome, Beetlejuice. And you know what I'm gonna do for the sake of time? I'm going to create a selection like so. Close it off. I'm gonna get my little arrow. I'm gonna shrink it down just a tad, just a smidge. I said just a smidge. Let's go shrink. All right, cool. And then I'm gonna go up here. And I'm gonna hit copy. And I'm gonna take 3 fingers and swipe down on the screen. And I'm gonna paste the whole thing, huh? Wow. Well, let's try to undo that. Go back to my selection. Alright, I said go back to my selection. All the way live. So right now that is selected. Click. Hey, what's up, dude? Copy. Swipe down. 3 fingers swipe down. And then paste. So now the other hand's there. So I'm going to get my move tool. I said my move tool. Take this guy. Flip it. Position it. And now we have the 2 hands. An extra layer, so I'm gonna click, merge it down, and ta-da! Quick little shortcuts. Same hand, just reversed. So there's the general idea of the pose, like, welcome to the world of the dead. Remember, if you say his name 3 times, he's hypothetically supposed to show up. I don't know, never tried it. So again, like I said, if you're streaming with me right now and you're enjoying what's going on, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Make sure if you are truly, from the bottom of your heart, enjoying this, on Mob Crush, you follow. On Twitch, you do the follow. On YouTube, you turn on the subscribe button. You turn on those notifications on the app. So when I go live, you know I'm going live and you can actually join, conversate with me, chop it up, and we go through this drawing process together. So I think I'm actually happy with what I've done so far. So I'm going to go back to my layers. I'm going to click on the N. And I'm going to drop the opacity. Cool thing is that now that they've done this, Thank you, Nathan. So now that I've done this, the cool thing is that now it looks kind of in a sense like layers it would in Photoshop. So if you ever use Photoshop, there's that similarity to it. And then you have what would be your drop downs when you click the blend modes, which are these right, which is like your multiply and then your lighting and contrast on the bottom list. But that's lowered. I'm gonna go back to layer 3. And what I haven't done is rename my stuff. So I'm gonna name this inks because I like to keep myself organized, and I haven't really done that yet because these are just layer 4 and layer 1 and the sand ones. They're kind of like sketched out ideas. They're not official. So on my inks, let's switch this bad boy back up to black. Switched it back to my inking. And I like to play between the studio pen and the technical pen because I get a great variance difference of line weight, thickness to thin. So I enjoy using a combination of both, and that's what I've done so far. So let's go look at this collar. Make my brush a little bit bigger. Let me double click on the screen to undo, drag, and then let go as I get lower in. Now thicken this bad boy up right here. Get my eraser, make sure it's a cool, yeah, studio pen. And then I'll come and clean up the line a little bit. And then we'll get that shirt collar. It's one too many. And since this is pressure sensitive, if I press hard, obviously the line's gonna get thicker. And there are places where we kind of want probably that thick line. And then there's places where we don't want the thick line. Like this part of the shirt goes this way. And then bam. And then like over here I have to start thick and go to thin, so I'll press down hard. And I'll start to raise my hand up so the line starts to get thinner. And a lot of stuff can be told depending on the variation of your line weight. So, you know, there's times it is super helpful, and there's times where like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep one consistent line weight. It's always good to play with it though. It does add that variation, that difference. So don't be scared to use different line weights. Like I've done it most of this little piece right here. So, yeah. I gotta come in and clean up some areas because I had originally started inking out Beetlejuice the way I wanted him to with the blue lines below. And then I wasn't digging the pose. So I was like, you know what? Hey, let's do this. And I erased all the inking I had done. And the more zoomed in I am, the more adjustment you'll have to make to your pen size and your pressure because Procreate will adapt to the size depending on how zoomed in you are. So if I was zoomed in less, the thinner line when I push down, and so on and so forth. It adjusts for that. Almost thinking that you want that for the whole thing. And I'll just come back in here, pick somewhere else, and recontinue my line, and I'll just erase the excess. Let me undo that again. Too thin. Then we'll look at his suit, because ideally now, his hair's in the way, so we won't see anything there. We got this here. So I'm going to assume we go this way a little bit, curve it just a little bit. I'm going to drastically pull it in because of the way his arms are going. The shape of his body. Oh, that got too thick. Let's lower that. I didn't even press that hard. But again, like I said, when you pull in and you pinch and zoom, your pen itself will try to compensate. And then you get stuck with a line that you really did not want. And then you're like, no! So yeah. Like I said, I gotta get this bad boy knocked out in the books, in the digital books. Sounds like someone's landscaper's here. Not mine, not our landscaping day. Adjust that line. Boom. From what I noticed from when I was referencing Beetlejuice, like I ended up looking at this dude multiple different times different pictures to, you know, kind of get the right idea what he looked like. Looked at Michael Keaton without makeup, with makeup. Obviously helped with the makeup because he's pretty makeuped up for this character, considering he's kind of not alive. Like, if you look closely at photos of him, you can actually see the eyebrows in the mix, which I gotta figure out how to play with that later when I actually start applying colors, because I don't want to use black for the eyebrows because it's just gonna stand out really bad. So once I start applying colors, that might be a whole separate layer of itself on its own. But if you guys have any questions, chat room, whether you're on Instagram, not even Instagram, you can, I'll post on my IGTV later. But if you're on Twitch, YouTube, Mob Crush, you can hit me up on the chat. I can see, I can respond. Let's make this interactive. Cool thing about doing live streams like this is it allows me to practice my voice. So when I get that call back to go back into the classroom and teach, my voice doesn't get tired after talking all day. I've been practicing all summer. Give or take. Let's try that again. And the crazy thing about this now that you have to think about when I'm inking is that Beetlejuice is wearing a striped suit, like black and white striped suit. So I gotta think about how the stripes are gonna curve. Yeah, Nathan, I'm a graphic design teacher. How the stripes will curve based on the wrinkles of the suit to make it a little bit more believable, more realistic, more to the artist. Readjust myself on my little living room chair so I can hear, like, as we're looking at the suit over here, obviously because of the way a suit is made, and I know this because I used to work retail sales where I had to wear a suit. You got like the shoulder areas, which are a little bit more square and puffy, kind of a, like they're built-in shoulders, just in case you miss shoulder day at the gym, you have some kind of concept. Okay. Let's pull this one this way. Yeah, I'm not digging that. Let's pull them this way more, so I have more elbow action than just wrist. It's the other thing, sometimes I forget to put like a cloth underneath my hand so my hand slides better on the screen. You get lotion or oils and that just starts to mess with everything. I'm gonna say Beetlejuice's hair is gonna cover that, some of that area over there. Erase some of these excess lines. Bam. So we look at this area over here now. Then I can come back and clean up and make adjustments. We gotta think about how the suit would fold over and create these creases. That was horrible. Let's try that again. Like I say, there's darkness in here. Love being digital because if I don't like it, I can just undo it. So, let's make some more adjustments. Let's ink away. Boom. Like so. I don't know. Any more artists out there that are watching me right now might catch us on the rebroadcast, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. You ever get in that zone where you want to have a perfectly inked line and it just bugs the heck out of you when it doesn't look like it's perfect, like there's a like squiggles in it. Like there has to be that consistency of every little part. See, so what features do you recommend animating to make someone... Oh, no, I lost it. Is it still there? No. So I'll take back and look at that. If you're animating, you gotta look at your character for sure, right? You want to be able to simplify it so it's easier to create that movement, that fluidity. If they're uberly detailed, it definitely will make it harder to animate. When your characters are overly detailed, your animation doesn't flow as nicely. I was always told when I was in art school that Japanese anime is amazing because there's so much detail in the characters. But their one flaw is the details because it makes it harder to bring that robot to life. If you're watching one of the mech animes, you lose that fluidity because it's so blocky. You can't just squash and stretch and do all the principles to their best of an ability without losing the design in the character, the fluidity. It starts to look weird. So always think about the simplicity of it, the details of your characters. Like even when I character design, because I ended up developing my own style, I always keep that in the back burner. I'm like, if I were to animate this, how easy would it be? How easy would this be for a team of animators? So, I always try to keep it, obviously, to my style, but simplified with some cool little, like, nicks and scratches of details, but I also think to myself, I don't want the animator to hate me. So, yeah, if you're thinking about animating a character, think about the details. I was always told less is more, which I think applies to a lot of this stuff. Hands getting caught. See that little squiggle that I just did? That bugs me. So like I said, do I have any of you guys, and you can comment below and let me know whether you're on Twitch, the Periscope, the YouTube. Let me know. Here are those moments where there's like not a perfect line or a perfectly inking line and that bothers the heck out of you. In reality, it probably adds a little stylistic feature to your piece. But like I said, it happens to all of us. We all get stuck in this, like, it's gotta be right. Let that bother me. But then I'll just come back the other way. Just get my eraser, fix this little piece. I gotta think to myself, would they be rounding off this way? Yeah, right? So we look at it, we come back, round it off. This is all a shape. Get my eraser, make some adjustments. Ideally, so this would probably be all black anyways because it's inside. Ideally. I could be totally wrong once I start applying the colors, and I'll just come back and erase these little hashes. Ta-da! I could, if I want to, just copy half and paste it over, but just because I want to have a difference in line variation and stylization, I probably won't do that. Boom. 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 I'll come back and connect all that stuff. Boom, boom, boom. A little something like this. Undo that line because I wasn't liking it. You know, gotta figure out how the fingers are gonna rock out and where to add my hand details. Add that. Power lines in the hand. Those are there, they exist. You gotta do is open up your hand and look, but they're all there. Power lines. Like the pinky almost gives off like a web effect right here. But let me undo that because I'm not liking it. So, let's see, pinky. Pinky, 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 pinky. Power line because it's there. That was horrible. Fix this side. It's gonna be like a right roundness, I guess. I guess. If you could choose one character that you have created to stick with forever, that you're able to manipulate it with. It's a great question. If I could pick one character to manipulate and keep it forever. Man, I have a couple that I could probably think of off the top of my head because I enjoyed those characters so much when I designed them, and they were based off my friends from art school. So that definitely adds to it and makes you want to keep them forever. And I do, and I've come back and redesigned them. So there's a few characters that I've done. But there's always those somethings. Oh, what the hell was that? Boom. 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 I'll just zoom in and wipe this little excess off right here. Bam. It's actually pretty straight when you look at it. I gotta adjust the middle finger because it's too far this way, so I gotta bring it this way. But I'll just do that right now. I want to ink it, and hopefully it turns out good. If it doesn't, well then guess what? I'm digital, so I can undo it. Hey, I got another viewer on Twitch. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. If you're curious what we're working on, let me zoom out. I'm working on this Beetlejuice piece for an art show. So yeah, welcome. Whee! Boom. So I would say it's probably up here. Like that kind of sort of, but let me take the top out. Let me fix this one too. I said fix it. Why did you show back up? Go away. Oh no. Other way. Yep. Alright, whatever. Bam. Maybe not as chunky over here, but bam. take this way. And wipe this out. Clean that up. And Hui Kasha. And then my next finger. Open my hand again. Take a look at my hand. And I'm just lightly going over with the ink so I can get the placement. And then I'll nail it in. Kind of, sort of, but not really. But I kind of like aspects of it. So let's get this guy. Pull it up a little bit. Bam. That's the cool thing about digital is that I can do stuff like that. So yeah, buddy. And then, no, too much. Hui Kasha. Back over here. So in most cases, sometimes we are our own best reference, and sometimes it's the internet. It happens. There's Beetlejuice's hand. And I'm gonna save some time and switch to Geico. And I'm joking. Bam, click, click, copy, hide that, drag down with 3 fingers, paste. Yes, I do. It's the same name as I use on Mob Crush and on all my other stuff. Art of Pilo. So bam, hit that arrow, just turn it off. And it looks funny because I haven't done the other sleeve yet, so we'll leave that on its own separate. So now, that'll do, monkey, that'll do. So yeah, inking the Beetlejuice. You know, I'm just gonna rock with that. Make it work. No, not that one though. Ah, you see, squiggly line, squiggly line. Undo. Boom. I'll make a little adjustment here. Okay, I said a little adjustment. Gosh, let's flip it this way so I can see better. That's the other thing. If you enjoy drawing and you do this stuff, whether it's digital or traditional, don't be afraid to flip your paper around. Whether it's your sketchbook, you're on a Photoshop, and you press R to rotate your canvas, or you're on your iPad, don't be afraid to rotate the paper. Now we get better angles. We can ink better. We have better lines. Most of the time. Wipe this bad boy out. Oh, I forgot I gotta do this. Chicka chicka chicka. Slim Shady. Build up this line a little bit more. And then I'll thin it out over here. I said thin it out, but that's too thin. Bam. Alright, so if I have any people streaming from where it's quite warm right now, let me know. See, I'm in Southern California, and it's hot. But I also have family that live in Arizona, which I know is hot. But is it hot where you're at? Is it uncomfortable? Is it humid, muggy? Let me know. If you're on YouTube, comment. If you're on Twitch, well, there's a chat. If you're on Mob Crush, just chat it up. It'll alert me on my screen. So there's that. The eyes are purple, so I don't want to hit that up too soon. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Some of this I'm still playing by ear. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Yakety schmackety. I've done this already. And when apps ask you guys to connect all your social media accounts. Like, I get it, dude. I get it. I don't want them on this phone. This device. Oh, my charger's not working now. Awesome. That happens. I get this weird charger that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And right now it's like, yeah, no, well, you're not gonna work. Guess I have to turn notification on. So now I got to figure out the tie and the rest of the suit. My issue with that is that it's kind of chunky. So I want to give off that idea of the chunky. So how do my lines being tucked into my shirt, what does that look like? How do we approach that? That's what's on the mind. Because I could just straight out draw, but it's not what I want to do. So yeah, it's not what I want to do. But don't fall asleep on me. Yoink. So now I can see my Mob Crush chat because I opened it up on my iPhone. But let's go back. Let me figure out his tie now. Rotate him. And since he's flapping out his arms saying like, welcome, come join me, the tie's going to have movement in it too. It's going to have a little, kind of like a line of action going through it. So we want to show that. We want to show the flow of the tie. And give off that vibe. Oh, too thick. Gosh, I hate when that happens. And it's not going to have its consistent tie shape because of the movement. And I can get rid of the excess stuff. And then maybe exaggerate it from here a little bit more. Something like that. But there's those wiggly lines that sometimes bother the heck out of me. Sometimes. Okay, all the time, god damn it. But it is what it is. Since we got the movement on it, or we're trying to show the idea of movement. I might take certain parts and just thicken them out. And then we come to the shirt, right? Because it's there. It's in there like swimwear. But where we pull out our lines of action, our lines of shirt movement, because it is tucked in. Like, do I say boom, and then boom, and then boom, boom, something like that. I can toss a couple more over here. And something like this here, because I gave off these lines already. And we're assuming his shirt stays tucked in. We're assuming there's little stitching because of the way the shirt is made. All stuff you gotta think about, man. It's crazy. But it happens. It's part of the artistic journey. So I'll probably work on this a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna sign off and check on the kiddos, respond to comments or questions that were posted throughout the streams, whether you're on Twitch or you're on YouTube. Post a snippet of this on my Instagram. But yeah, see, it's a work in progress. Like, why did I add that line? Like, is he wearing a belt? Is he not wearing a belt? Do dead people wear belts? It's a great question, right? Why don't you guys let me know? Respond to the chat. Comment on YouTube. Do dead people wear belts? I don't know. I guess would Deadpool, who would Beetlejuice be kind of like a zombie with a brain though? Sort of a brain? Gosh, what have I just asked? What have I just asked? A question, right? I'm just gonna assume the dude's wearing a belt. He's got every other part of the suit. Why not wear a belt? I'm just gonna bring it in and hide it under his belly. Which we can do that. I'll come back and clean that up. That's no biggie. Boom, 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 boom. Bam, bam. And I'm gonna pull the brush the other way. There we go. Gives me a better ink line, so I'll just erase these. And then I realized that I thought they erased this right here. So yeah, buddy. Alright, so I had some minor little add-ins right here, right now. Thank you for streaming today, man. Glad you guys joined in. Increased my viewership a little bit. We had a little fun. We talked. Catch me again Tuesdays and Thursdays, or both days, or one day if I can pull it off. I have about 2 weeks before hopefully I get my call back into the classroom and I'm teaching again. So with that being said, again, thank you. Share this if you're on one of the different social media platforms. If you're watching on Twitch, share it on Twitter, your Facebook, whatever it might be. Just share this as a form of appreciation, because I appreciate you being here with me today, watching me do my talking, my drawing, and just being random with you guys. But I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Toodles. Thanks again. Love y'all. Bye.